How's everybody doing today? Everyone feel pretty good? That's what I'm saying. It's a happy day right now, what we're trying to do. I want to get a few thanks out and a few acknowledgments before I reach into my very powerful and inspirational speech. Angie Brady, you'll hear from her, Director of the Office of Waterfront and Civic Projects and Sound Transit. Marshall Foster, Director of Seattle Center, and Joy Shigaki, CEO of Friends in Waterfront, and Emily George, a downtown parent and resident. You're going to hear from all four. But I have to tell you, I rattled their names off a little quickly. Probably didn't do them justice, but I'll say thank you from the bottom of your mayor's heart. Let's give them a round of applause right now. For your vision, for your tenacity. A couple of weeks ago, Angie Brady, let me put this thing up though, just one second. Throwing my rhythm off. Bring it this way a little bit. Perfect. Thank you, Carissa. And I'm not going to tell anyone that you're engaged to be married here in a few months, and we're pretty excited about that. It's our little secret, like my other daughter. So we are here, and let me acknowledge some other folks here that Chairman Forsum from the Suquamish, Chairman Jason Elkins from Muckleshoot, we know you are here in your leadership capacity with Native communities. We hope as a city we're making you proud. We understand our obligations and our love for the work that you do and for your communities, and we stand with you and aligned with you. I want to recognize we do have council members here. Rob Saka, Council President, Sarah Nelson, I believe Council Member Joy Hollingsworth is here. Raise your hand so they can see you. Wave your hands in the air like you just don't care. Commissioner Fred Feldman, I've been told, is here. Where are you, Fred? We love you. We know you're going to. There he is over there. Thank you. And if I missed you, slip Chris a note, and I'm going to acknowledge you. I have a lot of cabinet members here, too, but they're paid to be here, so we're not going to acknowledge all of those folks. So in 1974, many of you were around then. This was the original Waterfront Park. And many of us had some pretty good times down here. I was in high school at the time, so I'm not going to tell you about the good times I had. But this is a special place. But now, more importantly than ever, when we need this kind of vibrancy. I mean, just look around. Just look around what you see and what you feel. I was going to say, Angie and I, about 6 a.m. a few weeks ago, we talked about this day. And this day is sort of symbolic of where we are heading as a region, as a city. We're resilient, we're powerful. Even when we hear the nonsense coming out of the Trump administration, we stay strong because that's who we are. So when we celebrate this particular park, it symbolizes, I always want to see how my speech looked when you sign like that. So. It symbolizes us at our essence, resilient and strong, and most importantly, for our next generation. That's why this particular park with its children's theme, and let me describe a few of its features. 50,000 square feet of a new park space to our waterfront. Flexible space features, a flexible space features a sea life themed play area with a 25-foot tall jellyfish-inspired climbing tower. Only in Seattle. 18-foot tall slide and other play elements you see behind me, and I understand the council president actually tested it. Was it okay? It was good, all right. And the seating area and the sightlines for parents and guardians on an elevated lawn. I mean, quite honestly, this is perfect for talking and conversing, getting to know one another, having lunch, looking at the views of Elliott Bay, a tree grove for shaded seating, plenty of open space for events and activities. Again, Joy, hosted by the Friends of the Waterfront Park. So, and many of you have been on this journey for quite a long time. So these celebrations, these milestones become so critical in our city's history. Now, if all of this today isn't exciting enough, I'm very pleased to announce this fall, this Pier 58 will host the return of Salmon Homecoming. As many of you know, that, of course, is a treasured tradition that brings our tribal and non-tribal communities together in shared stewardship of our environment and our future. And events like this and the Salmon Homecoming reminds us that it's just not about you and I. It's about our air and our water and our salmon, and it's about fighting climate change. It's all of us coming together as a clean community. Helen Keller, author, political activist, once said, "Alone, we can do so little, but together we can do so much." So we stand with you, and we stand with all of you together in this journey. Pier 58 and the full Waterfront Park couldn't have been created without the bold vision of civic and community leaders almost 2 decades ago, coming together, thousands of hours, putting together planning, building, and engaging with communities and businesses. I got to take a little personal privilege. I see the first African-American mayor's wife there, Constance Rice. You've been a steadfast part of this journey. And I have to recognize the First Lady, Joanne Harrell, here as well. One of the perks of being mayor, you can give your wife a shout out like that, and always works well over dinner time. So confidently I say that this is beautiful work. And the beauty of it is we're really just beginning building the city to where we want it to be. So I'm going to introduce now Angela, we call her Angie Brady, the director of our Office of Waterfront, Civic Projects, and Sound Transit, to share a few remarks. And let's give her a hand as she comes to the podium.
Thank you, Mayor. Thanks to all of you here today for joining us to celebrate the opening of Pier 58. We're so excited to share this new beautiful pier with Seattle. Today is a proud day for our city. Pier 58 joins a very long list of successfully completed Waterfront Seattle projects that make up the entirety of Waterfront Park, an iconic new destination that reconnects our downtown Seattle to the natural beauty of Elliott Bay. We demolished the old Pier 58 in late 2020, and we began rebuilding this new pier in the fall of 22, and here we are 3 years later celebrating opening day. Pier 58 adds 50,000 square feet of new park space. It's centrally located, obviously, here right next to the Seattle Aquarium, the recently opened public restroom over that way if you need it later, and absolutely stunning views from Overlook Walk to our north, which was opened in October of earlier this year. This pier was designed specifically to be family friendly and will be a noteworthy addition to this cultural hub, drawing residents and visitors alike to the newest downtown park. This pier features an elevated lawn with expansive views of Elliott Bay, as well as our downtown skyline, a tree grove area with frontier elm trees that provide shade and will provide beautiful maroon foliage in the fall, and a flexible open plaza space. Friends of Waterfront Park will be activating this space, and you'll hear from Joy in just a minute. They've done incredible work to date, including the many cultural and artistic events that they've held on Pier 62, just north of us. They've even brought back concerts to that pier, which I personally could not be more excited about. We've incorporated some really cool but subtle design elements in this pier, such as some of the metal inlays with numbers that indicate the underwater topography below the pier, showing how the water gets deeper as you head to the west. Thanks to our partners at the Seattle Aquarium, these metal inlays include the names of sea creatures that you might see in the water at each of those identified bathymetry levels. You might be asking yourself why we have this big area of open water over here to our left. That is nearly 5,000 square feet of open water that allows for more natural light to access the shallow water zone, which helps aquatic plants to grow, providing food for the fish migrating through these waters. Our waterfront program includes a long list of marine habitat improvements designed specifically to support salmon migration corridor along the Elliott Bay seawall. And of course, you can't miss it behind me, the jellyfish in the room. Before opening the pier today, our whimsical play space has been gaining a name for itself. And I think it's going to be the talk of this town, especially amongst the kids, for a very long time. The centerpiece is a unique visually striking 25-foot tall jellyfish-inspired climbing structure with an 18-foot slide and tentacles that swoop into large climbable nets. It's surrounded by kelp-like posts and includes ground play features such as crab wobble boards, a flex foam sling seat, and many more. There's also ample seating throughout the area, which means parents and guardians can relax while keeping an eye on their kids as they play. The overall design is a reflection of community involvement, and I want to thank the parents and the kids, including my own, hi Ava, who's here today, for your thoughtful comments. This playground was designed by the talented team at Earthscape Play based on feedback gathered from hundreds of community members. Parents and kids shared their priorities for this new play area, which included they wanted to see tall slides, they wanted to see climbing structures, and this new play space, kids can play and let their imagination run wild, while parents can sit and enjoy the unique beauty of Elliott Bay. And for those passionate about art, we will soon have 2 publicly cited artworks at this specific location. The Waterfront Fountain, which is kind of right behind all of you to the south. All right, I need like some water up here. It's starting to get hot. And now I've lost my space. Hold on. I'm giving you a break. This is what's happening. Oh, thanks, Tim. Okay, I'm going to start from Waterfront Fountain by James Fitzgerald and Margaret Tompkins, originally installed in 1974, has returned to the waterfront after a full restoration. We coordinated with the artist's family to ensure the restoration adhered to the original design. And I believe there are several of the artist's family members in attendance today. Thank you for being here to celebrate this with us. And the fountain was originally made possible by a generous donation by Helen Harrington Schiff. I also want to recognize her family members who are here as well. Thank you so much. And coming soon nearby on the park promenade, we have a piece called Family by Qualsius Sean Peterson, which will welcome visitors with 3 sculptural figures to the homelands of the Coast Salish people. We are very excited for Sean's artworks to arrive, so stay tuned for those. Finally, it takes a village to deliver these incredible new park spaces, and so many people contributed in order to make today a reality. Regarding the playground design, I'd like to thank Emily and Michael George specifically. They are downtown parents, have a passion for play. The Downtown Seattle Association, Seattle Historic Waterfront Association, and El Centro de la Raza, Jose Marti Child Development Center, all of whom were engaged throughout the design process. We all know these types of projects are expensive. For those who may not know, an unprecedented $110 million in private donations are going directly toward the $806 million capital cost of Seattle's new waterfront park, including this amazing new pier. Thank you to friends, thank you to all of the donors. I know there are many of you here today for your generosity and for trusting the city to deliver on our commitments. We also, of course, want to thank the City of Seattle taxpayers, the LID ratepayers, without whom none of this would be possible. The work to complete Pier 58 has been complex. It's been time-consuming, to say the least, and also incredibly satisfying for myself and my entire Waterfront Seattle team. I want to give a shout out to field operations, our lead landscape architects, our lead engineering team at Jacobs, and the many sub-consultants under them who have made this pier design successful. These projects cannot get built without the appropriate environmental permits, and we could not have gotten through that process without Anchor QEA, Parametrics, and our talented in-house city team, including Jill Masick and Catherine Chezik, who are here today, and the support from a long list of permitting agencies, as well as our local Coast Salish tribes, especially the Muckleshoot and the Suquamish, who are here today to celebrate with us. Thank you. Many thanks to our contractor, Pacific Pile Marine, and all the trades who've done a phenomenal job building this uniquely challenging pier. Enviro Issues, our outreach team, leading all of our outreach efforts for this pier and the entire waterfront park for us, especially Iris and Jeanette, thank you so much. Our talented construction management team from H&TB Jacobs JV, especially Jody Robinson, Jesse Kidd, and Austin Meyer. Love you guys. And of course, my entire city team at the Office of the Waterfront, both former and and current team members are here, most of whom are like family to me, all of whom are like family to me, actually. I could go on and on. I'm going to stop talking. But we have a few more remarks, and I'm certain our kids are very excited to get out onto this new playground. So just thank you so much again, and I'm going to hand it back to the mayor.
Thank you, Angie. Thank you, Angie. I told you, Angie is known for her thank you game. She's strong there. So I want to give a few more thanks to do the upper a little bit. I want to recognize, I saw Maggie Walker here. This is all you, Maggie. Thank you very much. Jerry Johnson, I got to mention you. Thank you for your leadership, my friend. I see Dow Constantine is here. His DNA is all around doing this stuff, helping us. And he's in a new role as CEO. Thank you, Dow, for being here. And last but not least, Shannon Braddock is here, the King County exec. Where's Shannon? Shannon, come on up here. Come on, you gotta, come on. I'm just paying bills here. Monty from Building Trades, raise your hand. Monty, I gotta recognize you. Thank you, Monty. You don't get to come up here though, Monty. You guys put in the work. Okay, so your next speaker is going to be Marshall Foster. Many of you know you've been working with Marshall. We want to thank Marshall for his vision. He's our director of Seattle Center, and he's going to bring a few remarks. But you know, after hearing Angie speak, the question you have to ask is, as mayor, what do I look for in a department head? They have very important jobs, big budgets, big portfolio. It's very simple. First, you got to have cool hair. That's the first requirement. Marshall's got cool hair too. I was talking about Marshall. Let's talk about Marshall. More importantly, you have to know your craft. You have to be a subject matter expert in building what it is we're asking you to build. You have to be a visionary. You have to be trained. You have to be a leader of people. And I have an outstanding cabinet. I'm going to recognize one other person. Gogun Kayem, will you raise your hand, please? Our Director of Arts and Culture. Creating the vibrancy in arts and culture, a nationally respected person. And she's got cool hair, too. But these are the leaders that we have running this city. And with that, I want to introduce again Marshall Foster. Please share some remarks with us.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate that. I think, Mayor, between you and Angie, you've both got a very good thank you game going on. Wouldn't you all say? We're doing pretty well. Thank you. I can't tell you all how gratifying it is to stand here with you all. I'm looking out at this audience, and I mean, we have people here who were there on day one, 16 years ago, when this whole endeavor started. And there's many things that I'm grateful for in this work, but the thing more than any, and it may sound cliche, but it is true, is just the incredible power of people sticking with an idea. This community has stuck with this idea for several decades, so let's give ourselves a hand. And as part of that, there have been a lot of things. I just want to recognize we're in a moment where public service is in a lot of question in our country. And we have a group of people who've worked on this waterfront, public servants in a whole host of city departments, the state transportation department. I see several WashDOT folks and former WashDOT folks in the audience. Will you just raise your hand for a moment? Everyone who's worked on this in the public sector. I just want to recognize you all and appreciate you all for the enormous work that you've done for our city. As the mayor and Angie both mentioned, this Pier project, Pier 58, is the completion of a multi-decade vision to transform Seattle's waterfront into a world-class 20-acre park. There are a lot of metaphors you could give for it. One that I've been using recently is it's our generation Space Needle. It's a moment where we were willing to think big. And Mayor, I know we're going to do some more. We're not done with Space Needle thinking in this city. So it's extremely important that we're showing our community we can stand up and do big things. We've talked about the design. Angie walked you through that. The partnerships at the root of this with the city, with Friends of Waterfront Park, with all of our property owner community who came together to help us do that. And then the third piece, which I'm going to talk a little more about, is the importance of keeping this asset in great shape. So for me, one of the biggest moments in this work was we were negotiating our local improvement district, which was a voluntary assessment of our downtown property owners for $160 million to help pay for this park. That's the largest assessment that's ever been done in the state of Washington. When they came to us, they did not argue about the investment. What they wanted to see was the city step up and commit to keep this park extraordinarily safe, extraordinarily inclusive and welcoming, and gorgeous. Not just on day one, but 5, 10, 20 years in. And so I'm here now on behalf of Seattle Center, having spent years working with Angie on the design, and basically we're here to help make this park an incredible asset for decades to come. Seattle Center, as you all know, has been around for 63 years. We're very much in the business of managing great public space. It's a three-legged stool: public safety, great maintenance, great programming and events, and we're so lucky to have an incredible team. So if you haven't met any of our Waterfront Park staff, you see this blue t-shirt I'm wearing, I would welcome you, say hi to some of them on your way. They are totally committed to this place. They care deeply about it. They're out here every day doing the hard work. I also want to recognize our emergency safety team, emergency services. You see them in the tan uniforms. They are here every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, keeping this park safe and successful for all of you. So we're excited. This is the beginning of the next 20 years. I hope we'll all stand here 5, 10 years from now and it will feel as incredible as it does today. So thank you all very much, and I'm excited to turn it back to the mayor.
Thank you, Marshall. Thank you, Marshall. So we cannot do this work alone, as I said in my remarks. You're going to hear the builder of partnerships, Joy Shigaki, the CEO of Friends of Waterfront Park, to bring a few remarks. And I want to say, as she works her way here, I want to acknowledge a former mayor, Greg Nichols, for the work that he did. It was him working with a lot of you. His vision has become a reality, and the Times recently wrote an article describing that. And I want to acknowledge, let's give former Mayor Nichols a hand right now. If I know him, he's going to watch this on Channel 21 or something, so he'll say, thanks, Bruce. Joy, please share some remarks. Joy Shigaki, please.
I'm a little short. I'm a little tall. All right, that's great. Good afternoon, everyone.
I think I hit the button. That's my fault. Hello.
All right, there we go. Good afternoon. Lovely day. Sun came out. This is a Seattle moment. I want to begin by acknowledging that we stand on the traditional lands and waters of the Coast Salish people who resided here since time immemorial and continue to thrive, and how we center that story, the culture, the resilience, and the beauty of this place. And that's an obligation that we all have to continue to carry forward. I would like to thank Mayor Harrell, Angela Brady and her extraordinary team at the Office of the Waterfront, Civic Projects and Sound Transit for bringing this extraordinary project to life after over 15 years. Marshall Foster and his team at the Seattle Center, and every community member, the 10,000 people who have brought this extraordinary project to fruition. Ambitious projects and audacious projects take a lot, and they take public and private partnership. And it's a reminder about the importance of government to make these projects come to life, along with community, philanthropic support, private support. That's what the magic is happening here in Seattle, and those are critical things for being able to deliver on world-class projects. So today's a milestone. It's decades long in the making, transforming an old double-decker highway that a lot of us remember and love driving north on, looking at the views to the west, to transform it not just into this pier, which is extraordinary, but into a 20-acre park. Friends of Waterfront Park is really honored to be part of this project, to not only be the steward of this place, to resource it and program it and center community and culture in it, not just to its final grand opening, which we're excited about is coming, and our grand opening season, which we're in the midst of, but for now and for generations to come. Our role is to care for this place alongside the Seattle Center, make it vibrant and welcoming and safe and relevant for locals. We want you to come down once, and we want you to keep coming back all year long. And we do that through our programming and our activation by creating a welcoming experience and signaling that this is a place for locals. This is a place that you see yourself in, whether you're doing a Zumba class or a yoga class, whether we're having a spotlight series or whether we're bringing the Crocodile concert series down here. It's a way to acknowledge that the beauty of the city is because of what we have here in our city and our region. And it's an invitation for all of you to be Friends with Friends, the nonprofit who will be finishing this historic campaign to be able to make sure we could build this park and all of our work over the last decade. This is a beautiful pier. Unlike Pier 62, this is very centered, obviously, in a family-friendly, centered event with an orientation to the Salish Sea and to the Olympics. But behind us, obviously, is a signal we want children here. We want families to come and to play and to stay. You should ride the wheel. You should go have lunch at Ivar's. You should come and sit on a quiet morning and just be able to people watch and be able to see who comes here and see the rhythms of this park. But we'll be offering seasonal amenities. There'll be seats for you to be able to signal to stay. There'll be games and other things to be able to signal to come. Not just now, but come in November and come in February and come back in May. Our ambassadors are keeping this place clean, friendly, and accessible to all of you, and to make sure that you say to people, come back to Waterfront Park, come back to our downtown, and come back and see what's changing. As the mayor mentioned, we're really honored that Salmon Homecoming will be coming back to bring its annual festival here to Pier 58 and Pier 62. And it's a powerful reflection of the culture and ecological significance of this park. Set against the stunning backdrop of Seattle's waterfront, the celebration will feature the canoe welcomes, traditional gatherings, powwows, and cultural presentations that honor the enduring connection between the land, water, and community of this place. We really want to honor the partners with the Salmon Homecoming Alliance to help support and uplift this beloved tradition, which has been held on this land and along these waters since time immemorial. And we're proud to welcome the community to experience it once again at Waterfront Park. It's our goal to create the kind of everyday magic that makes people say, meet me at Waterfront Park. The work of Friends is only possible through partnership. The mayor talked about it, Marshall and Angie talked about it with the city, Seattle Center, the waterfront businesses, downtown stakeholders, the community organizations and artists and all of you. So I first want to thank the board of directors of Friends of Waterfront Park, if you can raise your hand. There has been work being done alongside the city to deliver on this extraordinary park for so many years. In particular, I'd like to call out Maggie Walker, who has been our fearless leader as the chair of Friends. Maggie, raise your hand. Since Friends began, but even since the beginning of the visioning of this town, and what we know is civic leadership is strong in this town, but it takes heart and audacity and a lot of unbelievable thick skin and a willingness to say the vision is worth fighting for and we can get there together. So thank you, Maggie. To our many Friends donors who are here, how we create a park of this kind is public funding, but it also includes private philanthropy and individuals and families and foundation who believe in it. So all of you are here, thank you. To our LID ratepayers, this $806 million project, as you had heard, had not come to fruition without you. People who own property and believe in the extraordinary investment that this park is making in our city and our region. And I'd like to recognize you for that. To our Friends staff, people in the pink shirts, I'm kind of wearing the brand colors, thank you. Thank you for bringing this park to life alongside our city. How we make this place centered in welcome and culture and community is because of our staff and our partners. And lastly, a big shout out to our amazing Waterfront Park grand opening season sponsors. As you know, we're leading up to the grand opening. This is the final piece to open, but you're in the midst of a grand opening season of welcome. So I'd like to thank the Gates Foundation, Amazon, Microsoft, the Port of Seattle, with special thanks to the Allen Family Philanthropies and For Culture for their sustaining programming throughout this year. This comes together because of partnership and a belief in something extraordinary. And what you're seeing today is the final piece being completed, an experience that's going to be like no other. And so you should talk about it in your social media, send emails to people, and let people know something extraordinary is happening down here to keep this place dynamic, magical, and joyful for everyone who comes and experiences it. And I'd like to thank some of our key city project partners who are also sponsors, including Jacobs, Field Operations, Hoffman, and WSP. This is your park. Let's celebrate today as a community, and let's continue to gather here for joy, for rest and inspiration, for each other, and for connection to this beautiful place. And we need this more than ever. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy. Only in Seattle can you start a press conference and it's a little windy and chilly, and by the end of it, it's like blistering hot. That's why we love Seattle. So what is this all about? Emily George will share a few remarks. It's about Emily and her family. She's been a downtown resident, a parent who has tirelessly advocated for sort of a child-friendly featured kind of playground, if you will, for her family. And it's that kind of advocacy that has come into what we see right now. So we'd love, our last speaker will be Emily George. So Emily, please share a few words with us.
Thank you. I have to admit that having the mayor say my name and thank me was not on my scorecard for this year. I will take it. Thank you. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Emily George, a downtown mom of two. Today, this gorgeous playground opens, a space for our community to gather, play, and let our little ones get some energy out. Parents know what I'm talking about. For families living downtown in apartments and condos, this is our backyard. We depend on places like this to keep our kids active, healthy, and happy. Getting here took more than a decade. I can remember attending all the public outreach meetings, diligently placing my little sticker dots on images of kids playing and posting sticky notes that just said, playground, playground. And then the first renderings came out and there was no playground, which was devastating. But we connected with other parents living downtown. We found support through the Downtown Seattle Association and started meeting with anyone who would listen. We talked to the landscape architect for the project, SDOT, Parks Department, and then finally our group landed at the office of the brand new office of the Waterfront and Marshall Foster. And we said, we need a playground in this project. And he said, yes, of course we do. And just like that, it was in the project. And then the city continued to keep us involved. We got updates as the design was progressing. They invited us to help select the concept for the play equipment. I think we chose correctly, yes? Gorgeous. And I learned so much in all of this. To me, this is an example of a city working at its best, listening to its residents and really allowing them to influence what happens. In Seattle, anyone can have impact. You don't need to know someone special or make a big donation. You just need to ask. Maybe more than once. So today, as we celebrate this amazing playground that makes the downtown Seattle neighborhood an even better place to raise a family, I want to invite everyone in this city to take that extra step. Go beyond placing a sticky dot on a board and get really involved. Because you never know, you could also end up with an enormous jellyfish in your backyard. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. Okay, we have some fun in store for you this afternoon, so we're going to do some ribbon cutting and the whole bit, but before we do that, it says ask for a drum roll. I have an exciting announcement to make. I'm not going to pull out a darn basketball again. I already learned that lesson once. That didn't turn out so well. Here's the announcement. On September 6th, Saturday, September 6th, I'm asking you to join us for the Waterfront Park grand opening celebration. That's like our birthday. All-day free celebration across the full 20-acre waterfront from Pioneer Square to Belltown. We'll feature over 100 community curators, 60-plus performances and activations, food, art, dancing, and more. I repeat, it's September 6th, Saturday, and I'm not throwing up a basketball when I say that. That's not going to happen. Okay, so just in a few moments, we're going to cut the ribbon and officially open this incredible new pier. So let's get ready to do that. And so enjoy today's festivities and mark your calendar for September 6th. Thank you for being here. Here we go. All right.
If you want your pictures, please come up.
Okay, walk me through now.
Got your photo?
Okay. 1, 2. Wait a minute. I got a better idea. We're going to do this high five situation. Carissa, lead me through my high five situation. The idea I come up, we talked about.
Okay. So the mayor wants to do a high five tunnel, because I think we have some VIPs that have been waiting anxiously to get in. So if you could look on the floor and make sure you're on either side of the green tape. We have some friends who are waiting to get on the playground. If you could look on the floor and make sure that you make a high five tunnel for our friends that are waiting to get on the playground. If you're in the middle of the green tape, you're in the way of our friends. If you're in the middle of the green tape, you're in the way of our friends. If you're in the middle of the green tape on the pier, you are in the way of our friends.
All right.
Mayor, do you think we're ready?
I think we're ready. On your mark, get set, go! And go carefully. And high five them.